Welcome to this short interview series with powerful women who have received supportive coaching and have been able to transform their businesses as a result. My name is Rosie Von Leela. My life is dedicated to speaking with people in the interest of creating mass human flourishing. Tom McCallum is a dear friend of mine, and he is an executive coach for the last 10 years with a long background in the corporate business world. And he works with a very select group of individuals at a time. Specifically, he's interested in working with leaders who are living bravely and out to cause transformation in the world and have transformed their businesses as a result of executive coaching. A little bit about Tom's background. He grew up in Scotland and was surrounded by powerful women growing up. All throughout his family, there were trailblazers, women who were serving as executives back in the 1930s, which is remarkable. And so he's always been surrounded by powerful women, loves working with women, and the majority of his clientele are women. We're here today with Sabrina Foster, who is located in the Cayman Islands. Sabrina is an attorney, and she has just launched a new business, which we will hear more about. Sabrina, welcome, and thank you for being with us here today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Rosie, and thanks too for Tom for making this interview possible.
Absolutely. So first, would love to hear a little bit about your world in Cayman and this new business that you started.
Sure. So, Rosie, I am an attorney by profession, and I qualified in 1997. And throughout my career, I worked for very large organizations. Back in 2012, I left a large partnership and joined a very small partnership, which is actually where I met Tom. So I want to believe that my business today is something that's kind of been organically brewing and brewing and brewing. So I just launched my new company. It's called 5011 Consulting Limited. And it is a legal, regulatory, and governance consulting firm. So I've taken my 23 years in law and professional directorship services and combined them into a new outsourced general counsel firm or in-house lawyer for hire firm. So I'm super excited that just took off.
And what kind of businesses do you work with?
Well, my target audience are small to medium-sized businesses. They could be businesses located here in Cayman, whether they be, and it's a wide spectrum of businesses. It's really supporting businesses. It could be financial service providers, investment managers, and the like.
Great. So you work with a lot of different types of business people, and I'm curious, so you've had a long law career already. What was it that had you be inspired to seek out executive coaching?
Sure, that's a really good question. So when I was a partner in a law firm, we had a managing partner. We had, many of us around the boardroom table. When I was transitioning to a very small boutique law firm, I suddenly thought, oh my goodness, I kind of know how to be part of the crowd, but I didn't know how to be a leader. I definitely was suffering from a little bit of, I need a manual, I need a know-how, and then it became, I need executive coaching. And that's how I first met Tom. It was back in 2012.
Wow. And have you been, how long did you do coaching with Tom?
I did coaching with Tom, I believe, for a little over a year, and we remained in contact. And, I look forward to those catch-up calls. I always feel like I get something absolutely invaluable from our conversations.
And what would you say doing coaching with Tom, doing coaching in general, what did that make available in your life?
I think at the time for me, I was struggling from lack of confidence. And I always felt that, Tom saw strength in me beyond what I could see. And it was really just what I needed to know that I was on the right track. And it kind of encompasses that whole conversation of feeling supported. I absolutely felt supported through the process because, it's very easy to feel like a fraud. I don't know enough to be, creating a vision. What do I know about a mission? What do I know about running a business? I'm just a lawyer. So it was really foundational for me, and it kickstarted a process and an evolution that continues. So it's definitely not something that I would say, been there, done that. That's the end of it. I feel like it's an evolving story and process.
Hmm. What were some of the tools that you discovered through working with Tom that you still use today?
Sure. Well, a big one was communication styles.
Hmm.
A big one was around, he would do this thing where we would do a little bit of role play and deciding whether, I was playing the victim or the aggressor, and learning to see things from different perspectives, learning how to use language. And it's funny, I'm a little bit embarrassed to say it, but almost every session we had, I cried. And I think it was because I felt so vulnerable,
Hmm.
but he always created a place where I could really be comfortable. And a lot of times that brought tears, which was quite amazing.
What did you receive through that, through having the opportunity to have a space where you were comfortable enough to be vulnerable and real?
Yeah, I think it allowed true growth because we were able to have, every session together was super useful. And in being able to show my vulnerability and to be comfortable, I think we were able to help me find tools to be more confident, to have that roadmap. And our sessions went from setting the vision and the mission and the purpose of the company, all the way down to individual effectiveness and individual skills, leadership skills.
Hmm. And what has blossomed as a result of all of that work that you did over that period of working with Tom?
Sure. Well, I think that the biggest breakthrough and blossom is the fact that I'm an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
So I think that there was always a budding entrepreneur, but I always felt, oh, there's no way that I can do that. I used to describe myself as, I'm the perfect wingman. I'm the perfect wing person. I'm the person you want to succeed. I'm the person you want by your side. Um, I always felt I was the best number two to any number one, but I never saw myself as a number one. And I think I've built more and more and more confidence. And sometimes I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, did I really form a business? So to be in that entrepreneurial, seat is quite exciting for me and really a breakthrough, truly a breakthrough.
Do you remember a moment where you were working in coaching and you recognized, wow, I've been playing second fiddle all this time? And Tom was seeing the strength in you and calling forth for you to play first string. And what was a moment where you recognized that?
It took me a long time to recognize that. I would say that Tom recognized things in me and believed them in me long before I saw them and believed in them for myself. And I mean, was there a time in particular? I'm not sure if there was a time per se, but it was something that, I kept getting glimpses of it
Hmm.
through my work with him.
Was that a new experience for you to have someone be in your corner and see holding a bigger vision for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think, like in most professions, you learn to do the trade that you do, and then as you move up in the world, you don't necessarily get leadership training, management training. So you become very good at what you do, but then growth it can be hard. It can be hard to grow to that next level. And I would say, you have friends that you can speak to about personal things, but this idea of actually making an investment in yourself, making an investment in the growth of your own career, and that's pretty big. It's pretty special.
What was there in what would you say Tom brought to the table in his unique perspective with his unique background and being a man in business? What would you say was the value that he brought to the table given who he is?
Sure. Well, there's so many things to mention when it comes to Tom. I would say there's one communication style about Tom. Tom is very direct. He's not going to sugarcoat things. And sometimes, sometimes I wondered if my feelings were hurt, but it ended up with growth. So I really appreciated, we got the most out of every session because he was very direct with me. I also thought Tom had invaluable experience in his own professional career, and all of the work that he did in private practice really created him, put him in that position to be able to help others. So he himself is very authentic. I loved his own vulnerability and his own recognition that you're growing, but heck, every time I'm with you, I'm growing too. So I felt like it was a real partnership.
Mm. Yeah, that's beautifully said.
Thank you.
Now, given that you've had this experience, you transitioned from always being someone's number two and super solid, and now you're being that for yourself as an entrepreneur with your own company.
Yeah.
Looking back on your own experience, when would you say is a good time for a businesswoman to make an investment in herself for this kind of coaching?
I think the earlier the better. We can always do with a little direction, improvement. I call it professional development. We go to the gym for longevity, to feel good, to have, to relieve our stress. I strongly believe in executive coaching. And I don't think you have to have, you don't have to see what that big pot at the end of the rainbow is. I don't think you have to, well, I don't need it yet because I don't know. I don't think you need to know. I think it's an amazing and valuable tool to have just as you go through your day-to-day career, because who knows what's at the end for you.
Exactly. So you would say it's been more than worth it for you?
More than worth it. More than worth it.
I agree. That's been my experience as well in receiving coaching in the world. I had a very successful businessman say to me one time, I pay for coaching and surround myself with mentors.
Yeah.
And he, had made hundreds of millions of dollars through pursuing that. So.
Fantastic.
Excellent. So to wrap this up, Sabrina, thank you so much for being with us today. If you're watching this and you are interested in executive coaching, Tom is available to book a discovery call with you and listen to what you're up to in the world. Sabrina, is there one closing thought you would like to leave as a word of encouragement for businesswomen out in the world and aspiring businesswomen as well?
Sure. I actually have a note that I keep it near my computer. And it's kind of cliche because I heard it in a movie, and it says, anything is possible if you really want it. And I truly, truly believe that. So I would leave you with that. And I think executive coaching is a fantastic way to realizing those possibilities.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Sabrina. And thank you everyone for watching today. Take care.
Thank you.